In this video, we're going to teach you how to grayscale your model. It's the next step to take after priming, which is the previous video in our painting challenge series. If you want to learn more about our painting challenge and even take part in it so you can get a free Knights at the Game Table membership for an entire month, then just click the link in the description here and sign up. Now, let's jump into the video about how to grayscale.
Okay, so we saw how to apply the first layer of zenithal prime. Now we're going to add a little bit more depth to it, and we are going to grayscale this model. What that includes is Nuln Oil and a little bit of dry brushing. You'll see this is a really simple technique that gives you so much legwork in the long run. As you go through this video training series for painting this model, you're going to see just how easy it is to make your models look professional and good. And it all comes down to this first technique, which is grayscaling. And you'll learn we do this multiple times as we go through this model, but this is the base foundation. This is one of the most important takeaways, and it's right out the gate. We will cover some other techniques, but this is it here. So we're going to start by getting that Nuln Oil, and we are going to cover this model in Nuln Oil. We want the model to get dark, and we want to make sure that Nuln Oil slides into all the crevices, all the cracks, all the places where it needs to be dark. If there's a shadow, we want the Nuln Oil there. The Nuln Oil is going to really show how to cast that shadow and just make the model look more gradient in terms of its grayscale, in terms of its light casting, and everything about it. It's going to add a new level of shadow and light. That's pretty much how you're going to start this off, is just apply that Nuln Oil everywhere. Cover every inch of this model in it and allow it to seep into the crevices. So don't be stingy with it. You can go a little bit extra with the Nuln Oil because it will ultimately drip into those extra places. Now, there is such a thing as too much, and if that happens, what you're going to do is just take your brush after you've applied it and slide it around a little bit. Don't let it pool up so much to where it looks terrible, but you do want it to pool up in those crevices and those cracks where a shadow needs to be cast. So that's basically what we're going to do here. Is we dried off our brush, we cleaned it off, and now we're just going to move around the Nuln Oil. Keep it from pooling up in places that we want to be brighter, but we're still allowing it to stay pooled up in those places that need to be darker. So like the top of the head, top of the shoulder pads, top of the backpack, top of the sword, top of his hands. And you can see how you're getting this light gradient that looks really good, and it paves the way for your coloring, and it makes it so much easier. I can't wait for you to go through this adventure of this painting lesson series and see just how easy it is to paint if you do this legwork up front of getting your grayscale down. So we applied the Nuln Oil. Now we're taking it with a dry brush, not a literal dry brush, but the same brush that was washed and dried. And we're just spreading it around to where the bright areas stay bright. Now we are going to take a dry brush to it. And what we're going to do is we're going to get our white scar white, and we are going to apply white paint to the shiny spots, to places where the light is going to hit. And it starts with getting that white paint, putting it on a dry brush, and putting that dry brush against a paper towel, so that way the brush is dry, but you still have like moist paint on there that will come off on the model. So, and you're going to see here, all we're doing is taking that brush and hitting the spots that need to be lighter. We're literally casting light onto it. We did a really good job of putting those shadows on and applying the shadows, and now we're going to apply the light. And it all comes with, starts with this grayscale. So, and you'll notice that the brush strokes we're doing here are only up and down. Like it's almost like we're doing the zenithal prime all over again, and we're just adding that extra effect. So this is going to really brighten up that grayscale and bring things together. So we just hit up the spots that the light would hit: the side of the leg, the top of the shoulder pad, the top of the backpack. But notice we're not like getting up underneath the shoulder pad or in between the arm and the backpack. Getting the edge of the sword, the bottom of the sword, but not the like other side of the sword on his inner hand. getting that chest plate. We really want to bring light to the chest plate and the shoulders because that's where the face is going to be. And we want to bring that detail out to the face. So we're going to apply a little extra light to the top where the face, the shoulder pads and stuff are. And the same goes for this shield. We want some attention drawn to that shield because it is a beautiful, interest piece for this model. So the face is probably the only rule where you can break away from only doing downstrokes. Notice there were a couple of times where we brushed into the face, and that's because we do want the face to kind of have a glow. But this grayscale is amazing, and it's going to set you up for success throughout the rest of this video series.
And that is how to put a grayscale on your models. This is going to make it very easy to add colors and basing, which is going to be the next video in our tutorial series. Now keep in mind, this is all part of our tutorial series that we want you to participate in for our painting challenge. If you want to join the painting challenge and get some miniatures painted and even get free access to the Knights of the Game Table membership for an entire month, then click the link in the description of this video and sign up.